and then Malcolm as well. Salaki had got in the call, and Malcolm, after Yashwamba had stated that, he was giving us a pep talk as to, oh no, that was Yashwamba, but Malcolm had a little memorial site for his tribulations that he surpassed in his walk, and it was just like kind of pieces of wood put together, and each piece of wood that had made this little like it's almost like a pallet, but this little pallet, um, it was each tribulation that he had went through being in this walk. So it just kind of represented like the intent and severity of being in this truth. What Malcolm was kind of showing us, like, hey man, when you're in this walk, man, you're gonna go through shit, but kind of like Yeshua said, I mean, it's better to go through this than to go through, America, Babylon the Great, and kind of face the adversities of the world with no reward. We're facing the adversities of the world with a reward, man. But nonetheless, I got some precepts lined up that kind of tie exactly into this dream. And of course, brothers, going into this dream, you can kind of just reread it and, you can throw in your 2 cents. But this is Second Timothy chapter 2 and verse, what is it? 2? Here, come on. It's all good. Butchered it, but it's all good. Right here. 2 Timothy 2 and 2. Let's get into KJV. And the dream, man, and it was crazy, man. When I had this dream, I literally only slept for like 15 minutes because my Eve had woke me up from my sleep because she was getting ready to go to work, and Salakia, she was getting ready to go to work, and she said I fell back to sleep, and when I fell back to sleep, that's when I had this dream, but I really only slept for like 10 minutes. But nonetheless, this is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse, man, what the hell? Is it 2 Timothy 2, 3? You're kind. Salaki. 2 Timothy 2 and 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier. You see, so that trench and the brothers being, us brothers being there and the elders giving us that pep talk, that represented us being in this walk, man, being in this faith. And when I looked at it, that little vision that I had was actually kind of played in reverse. We probably had this pep, not just speaking as a man, we probably had this pep talk first from Yashawamba and Malcolm. And then, as being in this truth, I went to school and I seen everybody. And I was like, man, fuck all these people type beat. And then I had the spiritual powers. And that's just a dream. And the thing is remember, these dreams are just faith boosters for us brothers. That dream might be, actually speaking about another brother's, case into Jacob's trouble. I may have to face a guillotine. That dream may not even be my lot, right? But nonetheless, this has to go out so I can, Lord willing, exhort you brothers to keep fighting for this thing, man, because, hey, the powers we're going to get, man, they're going to be far-fetched. And remember, I'm trying to explain the dream to the best of my ability, but when I was, seeing it, it was, man, it was amazing. But nonetheless, this ties perfectly into Wisdom of Solomon. Where's it at? 3 and 5. So we got to endure, like Malcolm, he had went through his trials being in this thing and different temptations and whatnot, and he had passed. And what's going to happen to those brothers that pass is this, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 5. And having been a little chastised, right? You're going to go through shit being in this walk. They shall be greatly rewarded, for Yahweh proved them and found them worthy for himself. Amen. You made it through the battle. You made it through this war. You strove lawfully. Back at 2 Timothy, the 2nd chapter. Being a soldier for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Verse 5 at 2 Timothy chapter 2. If a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned except he strive lawfully. You see, you were in this thing with all truth and sincerity. You really wanted to repent. You really wanted to understand the precepts. You really wanted to understand the breakdowns. You really wanted to be able to. You really wanted to be able to teach this truth. You really wanted to gather fruit, and your fruit, so that your fruit may remain, and so on and so forth, man. You really wanted to apply these different attributes of a hopeful elect man. You strove lawfully. But nonetheless, hey, what's going to happen after? Verse 6, as gold in the furnace, as he tried them and received them as a burnt offering. When us brothers go out to the highways and the hedges, that is a burnt offering, man. That is a sacrifice. That's that altar. Verse 7, this is the point. And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble, man. And remember how I said in the dream, I most likely look like this to the people out here and down on the earth, because I was flying so fast from one point to another point. Imagine that streak, but now imagine like hundreds of brothers. What are we gonna look like? We're gonna look like sparks among the stubble. Boom, 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 boom. But we're moving quick. Verse 8, they shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. Amen. So we got to go through these trials. We got to go through these different tribulations and catching hell on this side for right now until really Jacob's trouble, man. Because once we're put in that spot where we can't really do anything and we really need the Lord to, come and help us, He's going to do it by the means of giving brothers spiritual powers. And that's in the book of, let's get that. In the book of Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah 59 and verse 19. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. And when you go into that word standard, it goes into, take flight or put to flight. And, what had happened to me in the dream, I went straight to flying. I took flight. So, yeah, man, we can also get Micah 5:14. Next precept that ties in with this. And there's a lot more of the precepts, man. Micah 5. Yeah, man. So, don't worry. Don't be scared about nothing that's getting ready to happen. Was it Micah? No, not Micah 5:15. It's Micah 5 and let me see, bear with me. Yep. Okay, this is the point. So this is the book of Micah 5 and 8. Also, I could think it was up. Verse 7. And the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people as a dew from the Lord, as the showers upon the grass that tarrieth not for man, nor waiteth for the sons of men. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who, if he go through, both trotteth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. You see, us brothers are going to be like a lion amongst the beasts of the forest, and a young lion amongst the flocks of a sheep. What does a young lion do? They can't control themselves, and if it's a flock of sheep, what are they going to go after? They're going to go and murk them, and a sheep can't do anything. That's how you people are going to be. That's how people are going to be. Verse 9, thine hand shall be lifted up upon thine adversaries, all thine enemies shall be cut off. And it should come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that I will cut off thy horses out of the midst of thee, and will destroy thy chariots. All right. And you can read on down, but I'm going to jump down to verse 15. I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. So these, heathen nations, they never really knew or are never going to be able to understand that these, different movies like Brightburn and Superman and all these Marvel characters and whatnot, that they're really talking about us Israelites. Esau, Edom, he knows this. He knows that. That's why he makes these movies. He got them from us. But nonetheless, in that time, when us brothers fully endure unto the end, I don't want to Zah, and Esau, Edom comes down having great wrath, that's when the Most High is going to put the spirit on his brothers to receive spiritual powers. And we're going to have powers where they can't do anything to us because it's going to be over with. That's checkmate. This is why Esau, Edom, don't you think that he has the capability to pull up on every brother's crib and lock us up? He has all of our YouTube channels. He has the AI, he has our addresses, he knows where we live at, he knows everything, man. If he wanted to, he can really just, but why doesn't he do it? Because he knows. That's why they call it the Illuminati, the illuminated ones, meaning light, right? They have the knowledge, but on the left-hand side, they're not gonna let you people know who you are. They're not gonna tell you, Israel, you Jakes, who you are. You other nations, who these people are. They want to keep everybody asleep to the best of their ability so that they can usher in their RFID micro C-HIP with a whole new system, which is the image of the beast, that's going to be a technocracy. All right. But nonetheless, let's get this. Micah, the 4th chapter. And this is, yep. Micah 4:13. Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion, for I will make thine horn iron and make thy hoofs brass, meaning strong. And thou shalt be in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto the Lord and their substance unto the Lord of the whole earth. Okay, at this point in time, these other nations and these Edomites are going to know that it's over for them. The Edomites are going to know their rulership is done for, and your other nations are going to know that there's going to be no more rulership for any of y'all, and that it's time for the Israelites to be set up and rule. Because, hey, if you don't want to serve us, let's get this, in that time where we have, and this is how you know also we're not in the new covenant, all right? Because the new covenant is synonymous with the laws being written in our inward parts, which is going to allow us to be able to hold the law to a T. And sin is death, according to the scriptures. So if we can't sin, what does that mean? We're going to be immortals. But are we going to be immortals in these bodies? No. The scriptures say this corruption must put on incorruption. Let's get that real quick, and then I'll get that in Isaiah. I'll just get the Isaiah one. It's what, Isaiah 61. I think it's Isaiah 60. Isaiah 60, Salakia. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 60 and verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall, what? Perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. So you Christians, man, what are y'all reading? What are you guys reading? It don't make no sense. But nonetheless, 1 Corinthians 15 and 30 and 53, for this corruption must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass that saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? Why? Because us brothers, not us brothers, Salaki, all you Israelites are going to be what? We're going to be perfect. And that means that we're not going to need to ever die again or have to ever have anybody make a grave for us, because we're not going to be able to die. Okay. And this is ties down to Psalms 149. This is also how we're going to be able to, because these Edomites, these elites of these other nations, not even just these Edomites, the elites of these other nations of the world, they already have their bunkers set up. They already know this place is going down. You had that one politician, he went ahead and moved his whole family, and this happened this year, to Argentina. He stated he did that because of the future of America. So if these people that are high up in how do you say it? They're in inside trading, they're in all these corruptible things where they can see the future of this place. And you people, you can't. But us brothers, we can, because what? The Most High has given us that eye salve, which allows us to really see where this place is headed, and really the prophecies, man. Babylon the Great does not have a good ending. But this is the book of Psalms 149 and verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. So in that time, when brothers receive them bright burn type, powers, because of us being cornered and the Lord having to, lift up that standard, that's when we're gonna really start to be able to judge these people and these other nations to another level. All right, verse 8, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. We're gonna go ahead and get these elites and we'll put them into captivity. The books in Revelations, the 10th chapter, and the 10th verse, it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. And the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So, hey, you elites, right now you're what? You're first. But you're gonna be what? No, Salakia, right now you guys are the last to rule. But you're gonna be the first to be in captivity. Verse 9, to execute upon them the judgment written, this honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh. You see, this is something we want. Because the scriptures say, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. This is why people are mourning right now, because what? These Edomites are in rulership. When you go to the World Economic Forums, when you go into these different summits, who is there? You don't see a Mexican out there. You don't see a Negro. You don't even see DJ Trump. You don't see the presidents of these other nations. Who do you see? You see these banking families. You see this. You see who's really pulling the strings, and it's what? These heathens. Last precept, Psalms 137, and then I'm gonna close on now. And this is the book of Psalms 137 and verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundations thereof. O daughter of Babylon. You see, so when you go into the prophecies, you learn that Babylon and Esau, mystery Babylon the Great, and Esau, Edom, are one and the same. Okay? O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee, as thou hast served us. Verse 9, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Hey, that's pretty straightforward, man. But you see the type of judgment that's getting ready to come upon these other nations. Where is this of God loves everybody and we're all going to come together and hold hands and kumbayas. Where's that at? It's nowhere in the scriptures, man. But nonetheless, back to the dream. You are the nations. We brothers, we're waiting for Esau Edom to come down having great wrath, man. We want him to do this. We need him to do this. Lock us up and try to, throw us in these, different FEMA camps and put the guillotine in front of us and throw us in these different temptations and whatnot. So that what? Last precept. I know I said that was the last precept. It is time for thee to work. Because right now what? We're working. All right, let me get this one. What's his precept? Yep, there you go. John 9 and 4. Salaki. So this is the book of John, chapter 9 and verse 4. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. This truth is time sensitive. Us going out to the highways and the hedges, this isn't going to be a forever thing. Us making these YouTube videos, us studying and whatnot, this isn't going to be a forever thing. Remember, Esau Edom, he's going to outlaw this truth and he's going to pull the plug. And when he does that, what's going to happen? The book of Amos, the 8th chapter, is going to be made manifest, where it says that there shall be a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, the prophecies. What's going on? What's happening? Who's going to have that no? The elect members, man, us brothers. The rest of these people, they're going to be confused out here. That's why it says they're going to wander from sea to sea, desiring to hear the words of the Lord, but shall not find him, right? They're going to be looking for us, brothers, to get understanding and whatnot, but in that day, we're not even going to be able to talk about it. You're going to have drones, high surveillances on, neighborhoods and whatnot that can hear your conversations through the walls. As soon as you mention the name of the Lord, they're going to, be on you're going to have fucking AI robots all over the place. It's going to be to the point where we really can't, we're going to really not be able to talk about this truth. The scriptures say that. Let's get that. Man, I just want to, prove these points. The scriptures say that in the book of Ezekiel, thou shalt be dumb unto him. Let's get that. Yep. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3 and verse 26. Ezekiel 3 and verse 26. And I will make thy tongue to cleave to the roof of thy mouth, meaning we're going to hush up, that thou shalt be dumb and shall not be to them a reprover. We're not going to be reproving you people anymore. We're not going to be trying to tell you to get right at that time. We're going to what? We're going to act dumb. Now you're good. Don't worry about it. We're going to act dumb. Why? For they are a rebellious house. These people, this is their judgment. This is how they're going to have to learn. 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. Let's get that. This is what you people don't understand. That the Most High, he teaches us through chastisement. And this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 9. Then shall they be in a pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law, meaning hated, while they yet had liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. You people, you hate when we're a reprover unto you. Verse 12, the same must know it after death by pain. The best thing for you 2/3, man, is for you to be destroyed, man, in a harsh manner, so that when you come into the kingdom, you realize that, damn, yeah, we're fucking up. But nonetheless, John 9 and 4, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. So this is why we got to do this work. The night cometh when no man can work. And that's when the Lord is going to what? Psalms 119 and 126. It is time for thee, Yahweh, to work. For why? For they have made void thy law. So now the Lord is going to what? Work. How is he going to work? How has he been working? How has he been talking to you people? How has he been explaining to you people these, breakdowns, the truth? Let's get it. Luke chapter 1. I'm going to close on out here. Luke chapter 1 and verse... and verse... Oh, what is it? Bear with me. Yep, there it is. I'm gonna start at verse 69. I'm gonna start at verse 68. Hey man, this is the New Testament as well. This is the New Testament for you Christians. 68. Blessed be the Lord power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and hath raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David. Verse 70. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. You see? So yeah, man. Oh, verse 71, we can close it right there. That we should be saved from our enemies. So we have enemies in this thing. This is the New Testament, Christians. Didn't you know we have enemies? So who's the enemies? And from the hand of all that hate us. So yeah, man, hey, this vision, man, it just really, showed me, the type of power that us brothers are really gonna have, and the way that these people, man, they're not gonna really be able to do anything to us to really put us to death. And then for you 2/3, I mean, you're just not gonna get right till, because hey, don't think that we're just gonna be tread amongst the scorpions. Don't think we're just gonna be putting hell on these fucking heathens and these other nations. We're gonna take your 2/3 asses out too. Luke 10 and 19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy. When you go into this is talking about you Israelites. You 2/3. You are the enemy to us. Why? Because you're living like these heathens. You don't have no type of law. You don't have any restriction towards you. And nothing, talking about us, shall by any means hurt you. We're gonna be just like, watch the movie Brightburn, man. When he finds out, he has spiritual powers. He even says it, he says, I'm not from your stupid little world. His mindset is way different. It's like us. We have a rulership mindset, and in that movie himself as well too. He had a rulership mindset. What did he say, or what was that thing talking to him, saying? It said, "Take the world, take the world." That's how. Once we get these spiritual powers, bro, we're gonna what? We're gonna take the fucking world, man. We're gonna take this shit. We just read some precepts on how we're gonna put you other nations into captivity. How we're gonna kill you 2/3, and guess what? You're not gonna be able to do anything against us. How we're gonna we're gonna be like sparks amongst the stubble if we endure unto the end. What is stubble? Stubble is something that's easily flammable. And what is a spark to a stubble? The start of that shit burning down. So that's just what that's talking about, man. And all the Marvel characters and shit you see, Esau, Edom. What's his name? He can be a Jake. What's that dude's name? Marvel creator. Stan Lee. There you go, Stan Lee. He can be a Jake, but nonetheless, all of his, comic books and whatnot, his heroes, they were all fucking made from stories from Jake, from Israelites. That's where he got all this stuff from. Okay, Flash. You had many accounts in the scriptures where, King David was running faster than a deer. He was jumping higher than the fences that were, those gates. Salakia, he was jumping over those gates back then in the time of, and in those times, Salakia, those castles, they didn't have just your fucking standard gate. They had gates that required like 20 men to pull them open. And he was jumping right over them. There's pictures of the different how do you say it, like cities. In order to get into a city, you had to go through a gate back then, and the entrance to that city, that gate is fucking huge. It's like a building, damn near. And there's accounts where he was jumping over that. Hey, Samson, he killed 1,000. He killed 1,000 Philistines with the jaw of a donkey. You see, all that stuff goes back to the scriptures, man. But nonetheless, hey, we're getting ready to come into this time. Esau, Edom, you elites, we need you to come down to us and try to arrest us for this truth. Hey, the Bible is actually already getting outlawed in Canada. They're dropping a law. Brothers have made plenty of lessons on it. I still need to make a lesson on it, but technically, to read the Bible and to teach the Bible, you're gonna be thrown into prison because you're gonna be labeled as an extremist, and it's gonna be a hate crime. So, yeah, we're already damn near here. You see, but you guys see how soon we're not even gonna be able to break this shit down to you anymore. There's gonna come a point in time where we're gonna what? Act dumb, bro. We're gonna act like we never even. I don't even know the Bible, bro. What are you talking about? we're like Clark Kent's right now. I do that at my workplace to this day, bro. Like, one of my coworkers, he actually is a small header himself, and I'd be acting like I don't even know anything about the Bible and whatnot. But nonetheless, Lord willing, this has been edifying and exhorting. I'm gonna close out by giving all praises on it. Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakabodash, apostles, the elders at Great Millstone, who do rule well and teach well. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and you Akim, man, you brothers pushing this word throughout the four corners of the earth with all truth